Entertainment news. And I don't want to dwell on it, but Kanye West showed up at P. Diddy's trial for support. That's like Charles Manson showing up to testify as a character witness for O.J.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Kanye showed up at Diddy's trial, quote unquote, for support.
And got mad because they put him in the
overflow room. Though.
Ain't no business like show business.
Yeah, they put him in the overflow room.
What is going on with show business anyway, man? They got Smokey Robinson up on some accusations.
What?
Yeah.
Not smoking.
Smoking.
Say it ain't so.
Touching his nannies or housekeepers or something.
Oh,
and
everybody
Smokey gotta be what? Sly Stone died the other day.
Yeah, last week.
82. I thought Sly Stone was been dead.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what is going on, Bo?
It's great.
Everybody trying to catch a bag.
In the entertainment world, what is entertainment coming? Did y'all watch BET Awards?
No, I boycotted the BT Awards for a long time.
Now, I will say this was one of the better ones that they've had, really. This where they did step it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I done stopped watching them too, because it was one time where it was just like, I'm like, this is just too ignorant. And why y'all niggas dress up in suits for this ignorant? You're like, this is just too ignorant. We don't need to show this on TV. But they did a great tribute to Jamie Foxx. Yes. They had some great singers. It was more well-rounded entertainment than just.
It wasn't dressed too crazy.
Stuff. Now they still had some weird symbolism, some stuff that make you feel like, what did I watch? What was that? You know.
What the world come to when Glorilla get a gospel award?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I heard about it, but I ain't even heard the song.
Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin. You can say what you want. That shit is blasphemous, man. I ain't no preacher, really.
Right. I'm with you. I've never heard the song.
I ain't no preaching, but
I don't know what Glorilla sings about.
But what Snoop Dogg has a gospel album,
right?
And so.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about that.
Well, you want to bring to secular to the.
Well,
is that bad?
Well, I think
we're supposed to come separate.
I think for them to, after what Snoop did with regards to Donald Trump, which was, in my opinion, a betrayal. He'd probably be mad at me if he hear about that. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
A betrayal of black culture, period. I mean, if you don't say nothing, okay. But to come out and say what he said before performing for the Trump shit, you know, that anybody that did it is a coon, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And then you go do it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And then BET gives you an Icon of the Year award. BET, Black and Television. Now, you know, and that kind of put me in the mindset of Stephen A. Smith. He's talking about that OJ shit, but it was worse than that to me.
Yeah.
Because OJ, no matter what you think he did,
was proven
innocent. A football phenomenon.
Exactly.
And Stephen A. Smith would not have said what he said last year about OJ getting an award if they had said that, if they had given the award to Kobe Bryant. Who admitted that he raped a woman.
He admitted he had sex. He didn't say he raped her. He just got medieval with her.
He paid that money. He paid that money on.
Yeah, but that's
he admitted he raped her.
He admitted that he had sex with her. Raping her is totally different. And she took the money.
He admitted he raped.
Did you see the biggest problem in the black church right now is getting youth in the church? So Kirk Franklin music and Snoop Dogg music, is that helping getting youth in the church?
No.
Do you think that because they doing secular music coinciding with religious music, is that a bad thing to try to help youth get into the religious part of the church?
R&B,
that's what's missing right now. Is
most
the youth in the church.
R&B and most jazz and most successful R&B artists, rappers, Casey, JoJo, all them came from church, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin.
But now there's a line.
Absolutely.
There's a line. And when Kirk Franklin was, I've seen Kirk Franklin rubbing his dick on one man on stage and singing a gospel song. Now, man, come on.
Listen, man. Look,
come on. But you know, maybe at my age, maybe I'm over the hill. But you know, if you want to open a church.
What's the use of bringing in all these kids and it's been taught a misunderstanding?
Hold on,
about
brother.
Numbers. You can tell me to hold on now, but I promise you don't want to go down this avenue.
But
go ahead.
But how we get youth back into the church? Because
how'd your ass get
in my church? In my church,
I tell you how your ass got in church.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad took your ass to church.
Took the church.
Right. So that's how I get kids back in church. Shit, take your sorry ass bastard kids to church.
But church ain't what it used to be, just like school ain't what it used to be.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
Changes, some common sense changes you make to accommodate the times.
Right.
Yeah. But you ain't gonna come. You ain't just gonna come in church like with your ass hanging out. Some do.
Some do.
You do not lead the gospel. You do not.
Which
lead
is all right.
holiness.
It's
a lot of things, man.
But you can't just totally. You can't totally just fold your hands and say.
So is that a problem with Jamal Bryant saying I'm gonna bring more men back to my church, because more people to my church, because I'm gonna start advocating marijuana?
I got a problem with it.
You got a problem with that?
Like I said,
and he my boy. I like that.
All right, let's go there.
I mean, I got a problem with it too, but that's his flock. That's something he got to talk to God about. I don't agree with it. Just like I don't agree with them doing secular music or as far as like just to bring kids in. Now, if you got a secular beat in your words and stuff, and that's just part of their praise and worship, but as long as you still teaching the scripture and holiness, I don't have a problem with that.
But even that secular beat, that's the same beat that got asses shaking on the poles all around the city. So you play that ass shaking beat in church, that beat is made to shake ass. Change the words if you want. Church ass is shaking.
I never thought I'd say this. I agree with you, Weightball.
That's a real shit. I just say I know the beat. I know the beat.
That's why I want to go.
If I done seen a butt naked ass on the pole to this beat, you can't play that beat in church, and I'm not gonna be thinking about ass.
They call them praise dancers.
Now, and you also stand there, but that still.
Wow, wait a minute. I was a praise
in the Church of
dancer
Corinth
now.
now.
Not like these girls dancing.
No.
Well, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. Even in the book of Corinthians, you had carnal-minded Christians, and they were Christians, and Paul had to come in and teach them. The fact is, though, like even with you're saying beats, it's still the mindset on them coming into worship, and that's what it's about: worship, love, and keeping a form of holiness.
Yeah, you got to show some reverence, some respect, now.
Yeah,
I like club life, but I ain't trying to come in church smoking.
Right.
Because you can't come to God and bring your ways and expect for God to conform to you.
He says, "Come out from among them."
Right, and that's
as far
true.
as kids coming who don't want to conform, fuck them.
Oh Lord, no, we ain't saying that. We're not saying that.
Don't bring your monkey ass in here. Shit.
A little leaven's a lot. You don't do wrong.
There's a time and a place for different shit, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place. I'm gonna say something I shouldn't say, but it won't be the first time. I went to John Witherspoon's funeral in Los Angeles, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I was sitting next to Brian Dorfman, who owns a hockey team.
Yeah.
He owns in Nashville. He owns
Zanies.
Country Club. Brian Dorfman, been friends for a long time, and when black folk got up at Spoon's funeral, cussing and shit at the funeral, he was like asking me, DC, is this how it is? I said, hell no, man. Because the perception was that at black churches and black religious events, that's acceptable.
No, it's not.
Even Spoon's son, when they said he was going too long and the music started playing, Spoon's son said, God damn, wait a minute.
In church, on the mic. That's tough.
When they showed, from the pulpit, you that rich. When they.
So who's the leading pastor? Who's the leading pastor of that church?
Some kind of reverence and guideline. Now I can cuss with the best of them, but I wouldn't say nothing in church except shit.
That's the leading pastor.
I wouldn't say nothing like that.
But if that person has never been to church, you don't know better.
It don't matter. But if you got
you know better.
If that film was in a church,
if you saying everything is everything, no matter where you are,
I'm saying that person don't know no better. He don't know no better.
They never would know no better.
He don't know no better.
The whining boy, the whining boy got up there, and he was cussing. So when Whining got up there, the preacher from the gospel singing group, and he's supposed to do the eulogy, but it had been so much cussing going on, he wouldn't do the eulogy.
I don't blame him.
He got up and said, I was going to talk about this and this. He said, but that ain't going to happen. Because the shit had just got But wow, man.
But look
And
at it.
they were out of line.
Was it his church or he was just a
No, it was at the Jewish synagogue at the cemetery where Michael Jackson had his and got buried.
But is it outgoing a celebration or is it outgoing as a memorial?
I don't give a fuck what it is, man.
Whoever the lead rabbi was, unfortunately,
it was in a quote unquote holy place synagogue.
But if the lead rabbi was an armor bearer, should have shut that down immediately. But since it was Jewish,
I'm gonna tell you the reason you couldn't do that. And I'm sorry, John, but John's wife had orchestrated. So when they were showing videos of John, one of the videos they showed, and I was sitting there in the church, I'm like, tell me this ain't happening. They showed the video where John said, you got to whip the pussy.
Yeah.
That's but you can edit that out. That's
I
just,
said, come on.
Well, it's just poor planning. Then I ain't finna.
You know where John said, "I whips the pussy." I'm talking about this was on the video in the church.
Well, I'm just saying. You said it was at a Jewish synagogue. We already said they bought their money, so they got paid. They got paid for their rent.
I don't give a damn what they got paid. I'm saying you ought to show there's some
reference.
But DC, some people celebrate life as a different way than some people. Some people celebrate like this is how he
That's
want
not what
to do
I'm talking about. I'm talking about respect for the atmosphere and for what is deemed to be a holy place.
I understand that.
I think they could have done it in like a theater or a Fox theater or something. Somewhere that's more secular if you want to show stuff like that and you want to give people that opportunity to.
It ain't that. It's how some people want to be presented on their way out, and some people want to be presented differently.
No, it's not. You're exactly wrong. It's not about that. It's about respecting the venue, man.
I understand that.
Respecting God.
Right. You wouldn't do. Sherman wouldn't do. Weightball, I wouldn't.
I'm saying you can have a memorial at a place where you can do stuff like that.
I've done one religious event, my buddy Freddie Clark in St. Louis, but I refused to do it if it was going to be at the church. Because even though I be trying to watch myself, I said, man, I'll fuck around and say the wrong thing. But he said, no, DC, I want you to come. And they had it at a hotel.
Oh, okay.
And I said, all right, I do.
That was
my boy. But even you gonna tell me that you would do a show, and you've done church shows.
You know, I did.
And you would do the same thing. You would not do the same show at a church. I mean, you might do some lightweight, risque, but you wouldn't do the same thing.
I done seen Bo P do a clean show. Get the money. And then they be like, well, you know who the fuck you hired at the end of this shit.
When I did Big Ron funeral.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about that. I said he don't want to go out like normal. He would want us to go out in a way where we celebrate. I didn't go over cussing and that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You showed some
discretion.
Discretion.
Yeah.
Right.
But some people, like New Orleans, when they go out, they celebrate the death. They don't hinder the death. They celebrate.
But you can
death.
celebrate the death without being disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah, you can celebrate without being disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole premise of it. And the problem is that, unfortunately, a lot of these pastors are not conducting themselves such as. So
thank you.
Then you have the people
no, she's telling the truth.
that don't respect the pastor. Henceforth, they don't respect the church. Henceforth, they don't have a fear of God.
And to me, and Jamal is my boy, to say, you know, I like it when brothers come in and you can smell weed on them, it's bowing down to them. Now, whether you smoke weed or not, to say that is bowing down, and that's not, to me,
it's wrong.
That's not productive.
It's wrong.
Now, if you in a town,
older people who giving all the money, they not gonna want to hear that shit.
But if you in California and it's legal, then there is a different perspective. That's not, you know, if it's legal. I mean, there's one thing in Georgia. If you're saying you appreciate somebody smelling like weed, you really saying, okay, I appreciate y'all breaking the law. Smoking in your car
could get locked up. It got to do with reverence.
Hold on.
Cigars are legal. I smoke on the way to church, but I spray myself when I get out the car. Drinking alcohol is legal, but I don't go to church drunk.
But somebody who smokes cigarettes and they a chain smoker, they gonna always smell like cigarettes.
Yeah.
And they gonna be sitting in the pew smelling like cigarettes.
But you don't encourage. You don't say, I like it when you come in and smell.
Well, the difference is, you know, you got laws of the land. Cigarettes are legal. Right now, you know,
weed. You talking about?
I know you're talking about weed. That's where I'm going with you. And even though weed is legal, does that law supersede the Bible when God says be of sound mind and body when you come to worship? I'm just asking you, does that law supersede the law of the Bible?
But is a cigarette taking you out of sound mind?
Hold on. If I smoke a good blunt,
and on top of that, this is our sacred body. So treat your body holy because He is holy. So okay, they say you can smoke. They say you can smoke crack. You gonna smoke crack? Right. No.
I'm saying does a cigarette alter your mind so much that you can't go to church?
Let me give you an opposite example. Would you show up at a club because you a church member or whatever and demand that everybody stop drinking and stop smoking? No, you ain't gonna go in there and disrespect that atmosphere.
Right.
So what the fuck make you think they could come into
God's house?
Into atmosphere?
I'm saying I grew up in a church where the deacon would go outside, smoke a cigarette, and then come back in the church.
They always do that.
At the halftime between Sunday school and church, you know what I'm saying? They go out, smoke a cigarette, come back in.
DC.
Yeah.
That was
there's some ignorant coming.
And that's the
Come
reason.
on, man.
You well as I know that is very, I don't know how to say it, but that is very contrary to the word.
What?
What we've seen and witnessed is
What?
very, very contrary to the word.
What is?
What we've seen and witnessed.
What are you talking about?
DC.
What is contrary to the word?
Of what we've seen and witnessed.
Like what?
Well, nevertheless,
It's contrary to the word.
What's contrary? What are you saying is contrary to what we've seen and witnessed?
well,
Well, to help y'all on the smoking part, so y'all, since
And the drinking part.
okay,
I do
but
both
don't
ends.
let what you do. If what you do causes your brother to sin, then don't do it in front of them. Because everybody can't take a sip of wine and be okay with that. So when you know, so don't do it, and it's somewhere in the back between Genesis and Revelation. But don't let what you do cause your brother to sin.
Okay.
Understand that.
Listen.
Let's hear
hold
from
on.
the pastor, please.
Yes. Go ahead, Reverend.
Just always
Speak.
remember this. Remember this. It says biblically. You got it, Bo. Because sometimes we get to the point. I mean, I love y'all to death, but some stuff, and I know we comedy and all that, but some stuff I just don't play with.
Play with it.
No, you good. We good.
Hey,
no, we good. No, we good.
Hey, so let me ask y'all a question.
You understand? We ain't playing with it. We're not playing with it. We're not playing with it. We try to get understanding of it.
I know I done seen you cut my mic down before.
We try to get
some here
understanding.
right here ain't got no cut down.
You know, I'm not saying that it ought to be regimented or nothing. And there's been an evolution process. There's stuff going on in church now that wouldn't have gone on 50, 60 years ago. But I'm saying to just totally bow down and say that you're going to accommodate, you know, because I do some stuff. I know damn well I'm wrong. But I ain't going to come up in church doing it.
Right.
No.
I mean, I agree. I don't like to smell like weed in church.
I ain't going to go in the club and try to disrupt that atmosphere. I'm going to go to church. Then Sunday night, I'm going to the club.
But DC, what's misleading, some people are led to believe that smoking and all that stuff is a sin. That's just something against your
you
own
don't got
temple.
over your feelings now?
All I'm saying is, DC, it says what comes out of a man is what defiles a man, not what goes in. So if you guys are smoking, that's something that you inhaling, that don't defile you. That's a choice. I mean, it hurts your temple, but that's not a sin or anything that's going against God. That's what I was trying to get out. So when
I'm
people
saying
try
with
to use some
regards to my man Jamal Bryant
right.
to promote
I think it's wrong.
to promote that. I just think it's wrong, but I'm the oldest person in the room, so.
But when you say he promotes it, it's legal in most parts of the country.
I don't give a damn about
It's not legal in Georgia.
Not in most.
Not smoking.
I ain't talking about legal.
Hold on, what I'm saying, it's legal in most parts of the country. And all he said is, my church, if it ever comes in legal, we're going to be able to advance from that by producing product in the church.
That is not what he said.
To our parishioners
That's not what he said.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. That's why I said study to show yourself approved. Just because he said that he's going to do that, read the word for yourself, establish your relationship with God for yourself, and you make the decision that's best for you. One of the reasons why people are falling short so much because they worship man as their God and not God as God, and just receive the word from the man of God. So when the man of God do err, you're not devastated because you have made this person your God. Establish your own relationship and understand that man, he do what? Sin every day. He makes mistakes every day. But as the man of God, you should do your best to make less mistakes. Or
the second time, we were on a bus, and every single one of my Christian brothers stopped. We stopped at this place, and they got drunk as hell before we actually went to Jerusalem. Yeah. I was the only one that didn't drink. Yeah, being a Muslim, but then I just knew that was a disrespectful thing to go to the Holy Land and be intoxicated while you trying to, see where Jesus died at and where he rose and all these different, and you want to be intoxicated doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some discretion.
That's just disrespectful.
Of course.
So all of Jerusalem is like a Jesus field trip. They don't have no other stuff going on in Jerusalem.
Accommodate the people like that. Accommodate the kids with all that other shit. For example, at my shows, I don't have nobody going up in front of me talking about sucking dick and eat pussy for 20 minutes.
I'm sorry.
Which is all right. I've seen shows like that.
I'm sorry I did that.
No, I've never seen you effectively do it. But what I'm saying is you don't want to bow down. You don't want to bow down. And in some situations, that may be acceptable. But for my show, now, you may say something like that, but for a person to go up in that show is dominated, but you disrespecting the circumstances, man. So, everybody in the church may smoke a joint or two. But to condone it as though it's all good, and then to say, well, it's legal, that's putting the law above. Man, there's a whole lot of shit. Up until 40 years ago, it was legal for white folk to hang your black ass. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That don't make it right.
But I think it make it less, like, for him to say in Georgia where it's illegal, I like the way you smelling like weed. That's a bigger thing, because then you promoting illegality, people can get locked up over it.
Well,
and then what you gonna bail them out or not?
I'm gonna tell you how I take it.
But in California, that's different.
I'm gonna tell you how I take it. You begging. You begging, because you saying, come on in here, you smell like weed, come on in here, I like the smell of weed. You begging, nigga. Mm-hmm. You begging, nigga. Stand your grind.
I'm trying to get to know.
I mean,
if you compromise on that, you'll compromise on your asshole at a P. Diddy party. Mm-hmm. If you're a compromiser, you just a compromiser.
I feel you.
There you go.
Some stuff should never be about money.
If you're a compromiser, you're a compromiser.
Yeah.
But some people feel like marijuana is a great thing for health reasons. They smoke for that reason. Not just get high.
I ain't got no problem.
Get high.
Do the church not work off tips though?
What?
I'm just saying, like, literally.
So you're saying
you
put a
show
dime
out
bag
on Sunday,
in the
you gonna
ties
get more money
basket?
with a better. So it's still a tipping. It's an exchange for a show, and people gonna spend more money.
Tithing?
Yeah, I mean, tithe is one thing, but then they still got tithe and offering, and then it still be other stuff that they collecting for. So it's still a level of the performance you give makes people give out their pockets.
So you want a dime bag in the basket?
No, I'm saying in general, what you saying is like he's pandering to the various crowd to get more money out of the crowd. So basically, in my bad.
So they fucked up. You can't reach them no damn way. And person ain't in the right mindset, you're not gonna be able to help them no motherfucker.
But if weed is money,
that's not what he's saying. That's
some
not
people say I don't have to go to church to be religious. So how you deal with them? People say I don't have to go to church to be religious. You want to smoke weed at a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock when you go to church at 8 o'clock?
Bless them.
God bless them.
I ain't mad nobody.
That's what I'm saying. So it's very susceptible to this religion thing. Is how people perceive it and how the people perceptives to how they deal with it. So you can't say that everyone who go to church is religious, and people who don't go to church and say they religious. How you gonna defend that? I'm saying you can't defend that.
Who said that?
But that is a conversation.
I didn't say that.
Well, not you,
just disagree
not
with
you,
my boy Jamal
not you. But that is people saying,
come on up in the church.
That is some people
smell
say,
like weed. I just disagree with that.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I came to church smell like weed, are you gonna kick me out?
No, I wouldn't kick you out.
You're not supposed to kick a person out,
but I wouldn't kick you out.
You don't kick. You don't,
but you could, if you know better, you do better.
With love and kindness have I drawn thee. It is not for the man or woman of God to ridicule you for coming in high or intoxicated. It's for them to preach the word.
Let's get away from religion. It's just disrespectful for you to come into a place where you know the majority of the people ain't smoking weed, and then you're going to bring your monkey ass in there smelling like weed. But that's like getting pulled over by the police and weed just coming up out the car, and then you talking about, what the fuck you stop me for?
But DC, you got a percentage of your church that's dealing with medical issues, and you saying that marijuana helps some of them issues. So I come in here and smell like marijuana dealing with medical issues, and that marijuana helps some of them issues. So I come in here and smell like marijuana. I'm healthy. Hold on, but I'm healthy.
Cancer.
Okay.
And she was using weed, but she didn't come up in the church smelling like the shit.
But I'm saying that
you know if you got to use it and then get off it, nigga.
Well, I'm saying that at least eat a gummy. If I'm so ignorant, know that I'm taking it for health reasons. But you smell it, but I'm still coming to the same place of worship that you are.
Well, eat a gummy, because the gummy don't smell.
Huh?
The gummy don't smell, so just eat the gummy then.
But I'm saying that whether it smell or not, I'm using it for the same reason that you did.
You a weed head trying to argue.
No, it ain't that. It ain't that.
Come on,
it's not that. You know, I don't never come to smell. I don't never come.
And why
I don't
not?
do that.
Based on your argument,
what I'm saying to you is, if I was a person who don't have the knowledge that your sister had to not come to church, smell like that, but I'm smoking it for my personal preference. I feel good. I'm healthy. I'm coming to church.
You smoke weed because you like it, Bo.
That ain't me.
You
I
ain't got no health problem.
I'm not talking about
it. Don't do
me.
shit for your hip. You be in here. Sometimes you be so drunk, your hips be one be going that way and one be going that motherfucker.
But what I'm saying to you is,
I saw you get in your car one time in the back seat and try to crank the motherfucking car. I got it on video, Bo.
You being belligerent right now. I'm saying.
No, he did not sit there and say.
You're looking for laughs.
No, he did not call you belligerent.
You're looking for laughs. You're looking for laughs in the wrong places.
I'm looking for what?
You're looking for laughs in the wrong places.
That was you. I'm saying
to you is, if I'm the same person as your other person who smoke weed, but you don't smell it, but I smoke weed, but you smell it, why you gonna treat me differently and I'm doing the same thing you're doing? If I want to get baptized, you're not gonna baptize me because I smell like weed?
Yeah, right.
I'm saying, why you gonna treat me differently?
I wouldn't. I mean, I ain't no preacher, but
I'm just saying, why you gonna treat me differently when I'm trying to find God just like you?
You are exhibiting a disrespect and a certain level of
I don't know that yet.
Ignorance.
I don't know that yet. I've never been in a church in my life.
Well, come back when the fuck
I've never been in a church in my life.
Come back when you motherfucking know.
Well, the thing is, if you decide to things or know what to do, you will change. Nobody has to tell you. The Holy Spirit will give you certain things of knowledge. So you're not going to show up at your baptism more than likely high. Not saying you won't ever they're not saying you won't ever smoke weed again, but there will be some changes, and that's the purpose of the love of God and the Holy Spirit to change you and He makes you a new creature.
All right, 2 or 3 things. 2 or 3 things.
Oh, Lord.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
So you said the Holy Spirit don't change you?
No. I'm
done.
What you're saying to me is that Leandra Rhymes, the singer,
Leanne Rhymes?
The singer, the female singer, black singer, the gospel singer. She had the biggest voice. She was on crack for years. She won the gospel competition. And she slided. She slided back after she won it. She was doing good, but she slid back and she started doing the same things. So you saying to me is that because I come into church and say it a different way, it makes me a different person. Because I say it in a different way.
My bad, Ray.
I'm saying it a different way. Am I a different person? I say it in a different way. And I've been doing the same backslide that I've been doing the whole time. It don't make sense to me.
Bro,
it don't make sense.
I know.
I mean, if God gonna take me as I am, take me as I am.
You high, Bo?
He's something.
No, I'm just I'm asking a question.
Who is the judge of wrong and right? Who is the judge? Not us.
God.
I'll be damned.
You getting judged today, Nickel.
I'll be damned.
We all judging today, Nickel.
You telling me nobody's a judge, right? You telling me then, as I was talking about earlier, child molestation and pedophilia. You telling me I can't judge you if I think or I'm aware of you taking advantage of a child. I'm being judgmental. That's for God to say. Man, motherfucker, please.
No, I ain't saying
what
that.
The fuck are you talking about?
I ain't talking about that.
We all judge each other on a daily basis.
I'm not talking about that.
Well, you talking about who's the judge?
I'm saying to you is, if I go to church high and you go to church sober, who in the church?
You fucked up. You disrespecting the venue. You disrespecting the venue, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
I mean, I think you should be able to make it so that you're not smelling like weed when you go to church. But also,
it's about to smell.
No, I'm saying
drunks can come off the street and go into church.
And it's offensive to I would say, to the majority of the people there. So for you to think you so special that you can come and just offend, man, get the fuck out of here.
That's something that you would only really accept when somebody is not already a member of the church. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you would say, okay, you taking outsiders in. You like, all right, you just got to show them. You showing them love because you showing them the same love that Jesus would show. But I'm pretty sure if one of Jesus' disciples pulled up and they know they going on some prayer warrior shit, and this nigga pull up drunk, Jesus gonna be like, nigga, you got me fucked up. We got some shit to do.
In the spirit of Jesus.
We got some shit to do.
About violence got no place and all that. But I read the Bible, and there's a place where Jesus came into the temple and they were gambling and shit.
When they were marketing, dropping up prices.
He turned them motherfucking tables upside down.
And he whooped them out of there.
You know, now he is calm to see. Said, peace be still.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have just said, start talking. But he turned them motherfucking tables upside down first. And then he like stepped back and said, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't no accommodate people that you know are wrong. It ain't like, so if you said, for example, you talking about bringing people in from outside, it's okay. So if you at a church and you put up a big banner, child molesters welcome. That might be appealing to a child molester. Sure. Is that what the fuck you want coming up in there?
No.
Okay then.
Or they gonna have a sign that say gays welcome or LGBTQ welcome. And that's not necessarily part of the Bible. That's not something that's.
I mean, they all in the choir. I mean,
Hold on. Pedophile not welcome.
Right.
Lesbianism, gayism not welcome. So, but he said,
no, I didn't.
You got a church full of them.
I didn't say pedophiles and ladies and boys. That ain't nothing like pedophilia, man.
All right, man.
But if the sign say whoever's welcome, but God gonna change you, then at least they moving in the right direction.
You deny him to come in there?
Yeah, you come on, but you come in with some motherfucking respect. You don't come in like you running shit.
At high
time. You ain't running shit. And if you don't come in, Rich is saying, shut the fuck up, because you know I ain't gonna stop.
Now hold the fuck up. I ain't the only one talking, nigga. All three of these niggas talking.
It's Juneteenth, man.
Amen.
Juneteenth is tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm off work.
Hey.
Hell yeah, boy.
Oklahoma City versus Indiana tomorrow. Oklahoma is up 3-2. I think they got it.
I think it'll go 7. I think Indiana better.
Last but not least, I'd like to give my props to the man that was in seat 11A in the India plane crash. 271 people perished. He walked up out of there.
The guy that
was on the one survivor from the India. The plane crash in India. He walked up out of there. So when I flew to Little Rock last week, they tried to upgrade me. I told him, no, thank you. I want seat 11A.
I don't know who was luckier, DC,
That's
that
his
guy
number,
or the guy
11A.
that got blown up in the box truck in Chicago that blew up that neighborhood, and he's still alive. They both were just meant by God to be here.
God bless you. God bless you, people of faith. God bless you, you heathens like Bo. It's going to be hot in hell, boy. It's going to be hotter than a P. Diddy party.
Y'all understand.
Now, last but not least, y'all gonna cut out all that y'all gonna cut out all this getting offended shit by shit that's going on here. And you can't defend yourself, then don't come on here. You can defend yourself, even if you defend yourself by saying, I don't appreciate that bullshit, go on with that shit or whatever. But you don't. This is a talk show. You don't like what's being said, you a man. Defend your damn self. But to sit back and say, I'm just not going to say nothing, well, get the fuck off the show. Because that's what we do here. We talk.
No hate, no fear.
And I ain't mad at nobody if you don't want to talk. But I can defend myself in any circumstance against anybody. So that's what this is about. We got different opinions and shit. And when you don't like what's being said and you got a chance to speak, no matter how fucked up it is.
That's right.
That's your chance to address it and make it right. Y'all cut out all that feeling shit, getting in your feelings and shit, man. Nobody give a fuck what Bo P feel. Nobody give a fuck, man. Nobody give a shit. No, y'all stop taking this shit personal, man.
I know that right.
People out there mad at me and shit, man, go on with that bullshit.
Yeah, DC, I'm the female on here, and I don't get that many.
You don't get mad. They talk about you like a
Now hold on, now, Sister JJ, your ass do be sensitive too. Now everybody got their sensitive.
Y'all be the sensitive ones.
Well, with me, I have to try to represent something. It wasn't the fact
I
that
know
was
that,
yeah.
but when he finished talking that shit, you represent that motherfucker. No match for you. You a preacher, man.
I understand
I'm
that.
sitting talking about your feelings hurt, nigga.
I want my feelings were not hurt, but I can't. They was like, man, you got a minister arguing. You got to kind of. It's a fine line you got to walk, man.
No, I agree. When you arguing with a drunk ass nigga, it's you had to sit your ass back and let the spirit lead.
I will say,
I've been trying to wrap this damn show up for 20 minutes, man.
I will say this is June Mental Awareness Month, so y'all men do have the right to embrace your feelings and not be judged.
So what should women do? Tell women what they should do for me.
A bunch of punk ass bitches.
Not you, DC. Not you, DC. Not you, DC.
What should women be doing this month? Sucking dick or what?
Lord,
Rich, you got a lot of cut up, bro. Love